Today we are going to read some useful role of fungi. Some fungi are used to produce antibiotics. An antibiotic is a chemical substance produced by a living microorganism which can stop the growth of or kill other microorganisms. Penicillin was the first antibiotic produced by a mold called Penicillium notatum and was discovered by Alexander Fleming. Fungi have a very extensive use in industry. Now let's read some of its uses in industry. First one is wine, an alcoholic beverage. Wine and other alcoholic beverages like beer are the products of the process called fermentation. So what is fermentation? Fermentation is a process in which the microorganisms such as yeast and bacteria break down the carbohydrates into simpler products. The products are lactic acid and ethanol, which occur in anaerobic condition, means in absence of oxygen. The source used for making wine is grape, and for beer it is barley maltose. And the microorganism employed is yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, also called baker's yeast, which is used for brewing or baking. This is the biochemical reaction of fermentation, where the glucose is break down in presence of yeast to ethanol and carbon dioxide. Here are some characteristics of wine. Wine is quickly absorbed into the body. In very mild quantities, it may be a stimulant, but when consumed in large quantities, it may damage our liver as well. Yeast is also used in baking industry, means for making bread. In baking, a mixture of flour, that is atta or maida, some fat, salt and water is required to make dough. The starch of the flour gets converted into sugar. When the yeast is added, it ferments the sugar and produces carbon dioxide, and the dough rises, which is called leavening, to about 3 times its original volume. When the dough is baked, the gas bubbles expand and give the bread a light spongy texture. Cheese is a valuable food with high quantities of protein. Also contains some fat, even some minerals such as calcium and phosphorus, and vitamin A with some quantities of vitamin B as well. Next topic is mushroom cultivation. Mushrooms are of various shapes and size. This is the structure of mushroom. It has cap-like structure at the top, gills from which spore used to disperse, then stalk, then hyphae which together form mycelium. There are some varieties of mushrooms where stalk is absent. There are large number of mushroom species which grow wild in nature. Not all mushrooms are edible. Some are even mildly or severely poisonous. Agaricus bisporus, also called white button mushroom, is the most common edible mushroom, eaten practically all over the world. There are 3 kinds of mushrooms that are widely cultivated in India and abroad. They are white button mushroom, paddy straw mushroom, and oyster mushroom. This is paddy straw mushroom, and this one is oyster mushroom, whose scientific name is Pleurotus. Mushroom cultivation is done indoors, and hence little land area is required. Mushrooms have many nutritive values. They are excellent source of vitamins and minerals. They contain good amount of niacin, pantothenic acid and biotin. The vitamins in mushrooms are well retained during cooking, canning and dehydration. And fresh mushroom contains 85 to 95% moisture, 3% protein, 4% carbohydrate, 0.3 to 0.4% fat and 1% minerals and vitamins.